Hello everybody, I hope you've had a good week and you weren't affected by the floods. I'm going to show you today how to make a modern pendant. It's inspired by the fashion magazines. It's not entirely a copy of anything there. It's in that style. Okay, so I have some more or less interesting color recipes here. This is 1 part white, half a part gold, and half a part translucent. This is 1 part cadmium red with 1/8 ultramarine blue, and this is 1 part cadmium red with 1/16 black. So what I need to do to start with is, my chop and put together technique. I'm going to first work on this, and I'm going to chop it as I usually do. I would suggest that you let your mixes rest a little bit, because when your clay is brand new mixed, it's going to be very, very sticky, and it's going to be pretty hard to get it together properly. And of course I forgot something. Just a second. Okay, so just a little bit of pearl, white pearl, just a little bit, not a lot of it. Don't put a lot, because if you have too much, it won't let your clay stick to each other, and we won't be able to see the full beautiful look of it until we bake it. So I will post a photo or a short clip after the live is over. I'm going to bake it and post a short clip on the Kalyana Facebook page, so you can see how it looks like. I recommend this pendant to be placed on a chain, and if possible not very thick, because it looks, even if it might initially seem a little bit bulky, it is not. And you can make it on a smaller version to have earrings exactly like that. I'm going to use this cheapo Makins cutter. That's about $4. You can find it, I think, both on my Amazon influencer store if you don't have it, as well as in the Polyclay Play store. If you don't have the links, they are in the description of this video, as well as in my channel description. And you want to get it really. Now, the mica sheet that I normally obtain in this will be very delicate, will be barely seen. What you want to do, nevertheless, what you want to do is to make sure that you chop it very finely. You can do the same thing with, if you want a stronger pearl, you can use a mix of 1 part pearl and white pearl and 1/16 of gold, and in that case I would recommend that you use interference mica powder, and I would suggest the interference gold. You can use the interference red as well, but my personal recommendation would be interference gold. So now we are going to consolidate this really, really good. And yes, I am going to make a pair of earrings as well after the live. And you want to consolidate it really well so it wouldn't have any. And once again, when it's not baked yet, it won't be as that whole mica shift thing will not be very noticeable because of the translucent. That becomes more translucent as soon as it is baked. And unfortunately, this is not a pendant I can show you the effect just by using resin, because obviously, being a layered pendant, I cannot use resin. Okay, so I'm going to bring it to the size of the largest cutter, pretty much. And then cut it in half. And I didn't cut it very well, but it's fine. The good part about these is that you can re-chop and consolidate the leftovers. There, it's much better now. And I'll get it through the pasta machine on the thickest setting. Just to make sure it is the proper size, thickness, not size necessarily. And there we go, this is our base. Now I'm going to do the same thing with these, only that I'm not going to use mica powder on this. It's a very simple to make pendant, but the effect is beautiful. Now once you finish baking it, you want to buff it. Don't sand anything, just simply buff. And then you'll see I'm going to put an edge on this, and that edge you are going to use gold wax on. This is all based on the combination of colors, which comes up as something at the same time modern and antique. There's a lot of this kind of stuff, even if the most of the jewelry for this summer consists of very long and layered strings of beads, but what is important is what kind of beads they are, and a lot of them, they are a combination of smaller beads and bigger beads that otherwise you might use as focals, but in this case they actually are just simply part of the string of beads, part of the necklace, and a lot of them look antiqued. Hi Sharon. So the red part, you want to chop it in not two small pieces, but make sure that it is well tossed around. I mean, you don't have to chop it in two small pieces. You can go very small if you so desire. Okay, so I'm done with this. I'm going to consolidate. Another thing, if you have cutters that have rounded corners, you can definitely use those without a problem in the world. Not a worry in the world. I didn't have a very good afternoon yesterday. I don't know if you've seen in the news, but we had some flooding here, not where I am, fortunately, and the good part is that my house is on a small hill, and because of that, my house is on the top of the small hill. So because of that, I have no worries when it comes to flooding. Alrighty, so again I'm going to cut it in half. You don't want to go with it straight through the pasta machine because you don't want it to be the pieces to be too big. And then I'm going to use the next cutter in size. And make sure you place it in the very middle. There we go. And then the next part of the piece, I said I was going to do some honestly, you don't even have to worry on doing this. You can simply put wax on the very edge, but just to make it look a little bit better, I am going to use that. Sorry about that, I had to get my peepers. Okay, when you put this on, this wrapping on, make sure that number one, you cut on a diagonal and do not start on the corner ever. When you do one of these things, start on one of the sides and make sure it goes all the way around and it's well stuck to the, if you noticed, I cut it just a tad, just a little bit taller than the thickness of the clay. I'm going to do this to get my and now you can use on this specific area, you can use either the handle of a paintbrush or one of these, if you have one of these from Tiny Pandora's. Just go at a 45 degrees angle, very nicely, very delicately. Again, you want to make sure, sorry about that, you want to make sure that it is properly against the clay that's already there. And once again, once it's baked, you put metallic gold wax. Now, the last part of it, and for this you can use whatever you want. The only textures you cannot use for these are the Makins ones, but you can get I will show you. Using two different things so you can see. If you have tiny buttons, you can use that, but just to be on the safe side, you get a little bit of gold. And I'm going to get these. This is the, I think I made a bracelet with this. I know I did something with this specific, oh yeah, no, I made a jewelry box and I used this one. It was the faux maple burl wood, if you want to search it. So you can use a deep stamp, whatever is small enough. This one I don't think actually it's small enough, but I just wanted to show you how to use it. I think I'm going to use this. So you need a texture that is fairly deep, right? So grab this again. And you want to have the face of it has to be with the sheen, not with mica shift effects. And I'm going to place it, let's say, right here. I put too much, way too much clay. That's not going to work. There's way too much clay. Let me just grab this. you want to do this with paper wax or even with a cosmetic sponge so it wouldn't roll with your roller. And I don't want all of this, so I'm going to, actually I do have a little bit more clay here. There we go. I don't want all of it, so I'm going to clean up a little bit here. And maybe this branch too. And there we go. Okay. You can actually do a, you don't even have to get all of it. Whatever comes out, you only need a few strands of clay. As I said, you can put a little, come on, get out of here. You can put a little button or a flower or whatever. I prefer it, see, this looks a little bit like a Chinese character. And remember what I said, you can, or you'll have to buff when it comes out, and it will be absolutely beautiful. Now imagine this, I don't have any gold stuff. You can do the same thing with silver, replacing just the gold with the with silver. But as I said, I do not have a golden chain on hand. I do have a silver one somewhere here, if I can get to it, just to show you how it would look once it is on a chain. It is very delicate and very fancy. Of course, you'll use, you can poke a hole here and just use a jump ring. And there you go. It looks a little bit Asian. And as I said, I'm going to post a short clip of how it looks like once it's baked, but get in a close-up so you can see better. It will be in a close-up when I post the finished piece. It doesn't have to mean anything, that little golden thing in the middle. And again, as I said, you can use silver. You can even use other combinations here. The combination I would not recommend is blue, but you can use green, also combined with the ultramarine and the black. I would make it a little bit darker, put a little bit more black for the green, because the Primo green is it's pretty light and it's very but again, never forget the translucent in the base. You can use brown, would look pretty. You can even use black, and I would mix the black with a darkened alizarin crimson, like use 1 part alizarin crimson and 1/8 black. Make the mix and then mix it with black, and all colors would work the best. The same with gold as they would work with silver. But this is the general design of the pendant. You can do all kinds of variations. If you try it, please don't forget to send me some photos on Facebook, on the Kalyana Facebook page, and I will post them on the page to show off your pendants. And I know this is not a very long one, but I hope it was a productive live. And once again, once I finish, because I want to do the earrings, and I also want to show you how it looks like with the other combination that I talked about with the white pearl with gold. So I will post this sometimes this afternoon, if not tomorrow morning. It all depends on, I'm still, as I said, I'm still trying to catch up with a lot of stuff in the house, and just because I stopped hurting with that huge pain doesn't mean that my chronic pain went away. So I hope you like it and you try it and you send me your results. Thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday.